Hi, and welcome everyone to today's LinkedIn Live discussion. I'm Erin Weinstein, Executive Vice President at SKDK and co-chair of our healthcare practice. I'm really excited for today's conversation with Nora Tophof, the head of business for Kohler Health. Nora, thank you so much for joining us today. We're really excited to have you and unpack the launch of Kohler Health in Dakota. I know it's been an exciting 6 weeks for you and the company. And we're really looking forward to talking to you about what it means to build an entirely new category in personal health and wellness and explore how one of the most iconic brands in the world is redefining the future of the bathroom. But first, I want to quickly introduce our speaker today, Nora Tophof. She is the executive director and head of business at Kohler Ventures, where she leads strategy and the business vision behind Kohler Health. Before joining the team, she held leadership roles at Data for Life and the Boston Consulting Group across both Berlin and New York. She began her career in risk management at JP Morgan Chase in London. She brings deep experience in innovation in healthcare and global public health to this role. And we are, as I said, really excited to have her and talk about all the things that have been happening over the last 6 weeks with Kohler Health. So to start, Nora, I know not many people imagine the bathroom becoming a personal hub for personal health and wellness, but Kohler clearly sees this as a big opportunity. I'd love to just chat with you and hear more about what prompted the creation of Kohler Health and what made now the right moment for a move into the digital health and wellness space.
Absolutely. And thanks for having me, Erin. As you said, many people would not think of the bathroom as the first place to bring wearables in and to have, new health technology in. But we really see it as a place where people are already engaging in a lot of very personal health related activities, right? It's a place where we all go multiple times a day. Many of us start and end our days there. It's where we take care of ourselves. It's where we engage in a lot of self-care and the care of others. And it's really a space where there is a lot of data that has been untapped hitherto. We at Kohler are in a position where we have been working in and around, have designed, have manufactured and created bathrooms for over 150 years. So we're really in a place here where we understand how people engage and act in the bathroom, understand real, bathroom behaviors, and wanted to look into how can we build something that moves from kind of wellness also into the health space and really helps people understand themselves better and derive the data that has been kind of flushed down the toilet up until this point.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, one of the things that really has stood out about Kohler Health and is really the ambition behind it. I know from when we first spoke months ago, when you guys told me about your vision and what you were anticipating, what you guys were planning to launch, I was really just blown away and struck by the ambition and the scientific rigor behind, the product and what you guys were building. Because you're not just bringing a new product to market, you're just also reimagining what the bathroom can mean for personal health and wellness. And sort of before we get into the product and talk about Dakota, I want to just dig in a little bit more. And how did you and the team at Kohler Health think about the broader opportunity and the role that Kohler specifically could play in shaping this new category and building on, the over 150-year legacy of the Kohler companies?
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, we think about this more than just one product. We really want to bring the idea of an ecosystem into the bathroom. We are founded on the foundational values of scientific rigor, and we have a medical advisory board, for example, who we're working with, who keep us very honest around what are the data points that are really interesting and meaningful for users as well. So rather than having just something that could be a gimmick or a gadget, we're thinking about what could be an interconnected idea around the bathroom that will help people better understand themselves, make sense of potential trend lines, of potential patterns that they're seeing, and really be a companion. We have built an entire app, we've built an entire ecosystem to help people make this really as insightful and as impactful without disturbing their routines that they go through every day.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, one of the things that really has stood out to me is sort of Kohler's really unique advantage here in the terms of people already trust the brand, they know the brand, and they trust the brand in their most private spaces. And that sort of trust really gives you guys a bit of a runway to introduce something new that I know other companies and particularly other startups might not have.
And we don't take that trust lightly, I will say. Within the developments over the last 3 years, we have done extensive data studies. We have done a lot of data analysis and data collection to make sure that our algorithms, our proprietary technology really does what we say it does, so that the insights that are generated for users are grounded in truth, are ground truths across. We've sent it to over 1,000 households across the US in different settings and different environments. We've collected over 1 million data points at this point. Because yes, while Kohler has a fantastic brand and is trusted, we want to make sure that it continues to be trusted and that we kind of can step in the footsteps of this with Kohler Health.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess that's a really good segue into introducing and talking about the product, Dakota. So Dakota is, as we've talked about, and I know as it's been marketed and discussed, it's a first of its kind bathroom health and wellness tracker that analyzes gut health and hydration, and it can also detect blood in the toilet bowl. It's Kohler Health's breakthrough product. It's doing something people really haven't seen before by effortlessly weaving health insights into a daily routine, like we've discussed. So before I actually jump in and ask another question, Nora, do you have a Dakota with you? We could show those who are tuning in who may not be as familiar or have seen the product outside of some of the marketing.
Absolutely. I don't think there's been a day when I haven't had a Dakota by my side in the last 6 weeks. Absolutely. This is the Dakota. So this is the device. It sits on the toilet on the right-hand side of the toilet bowl as such. It attaches to the rim with this clamp. And this is where the magic happens. These are the lenses and the cameras that look into the toilet bowl. As you can tell, it's angled just strictly downward so that there is no other things that Dakota can see, but just the contents of the toilet bowl. It is activated with the time of flight sensor that you can see here. And yeah, it's designed to be just clamped very unobtrusively onto the toilet bowl to wake up when you approach the toilet, to be very passive, to work seamlessly in the background. The other thing we have designed is a remote. This is a fingerprint remote with which users and customers can activate Dakota. Alongside the trust, one of the biggest things here that we wanted to make sure is that only the people who want to give data to this are actually giving data to this. So we require user authentication before every time someone uses the Dakota, which can happen either with a fingerprint remote like such, where you can save a fingerprint here. You can put this on or near your toilet and which will help, the initiation of a session. You can also start with your app. In our user research, we found that it's about a 50-50 split of people who want to take their mobile phone into the bathroom and some really don't want to. So we just wanted to make sure that, again, we meet the user where they are. We don't ask them to bring additional gadgets in if they don't want to, but if they happen to scroll on their phone anyway, they might as well use the app to authenticate.
No, that's great. And thank you for sharing that. Because as I said, I know a lot of people haven't, it's been so new and just come onto the market. And so it's been great, for those who are tuning in to see it. But I'd love to hear more about what were some of the guiding principles behind designing something so personal to feel intuitive, discreet, and seamless in the bathroom. Obviously, the bathroom is a personal space for a lot of people, although it's one that we frequent often. But yeah, I'd love to hear more about sort of the thinking behind the design.
Absolutely. So starting with the design, Kohler is very big on design, as you know. We design beautiful bathrooms, and we wanted to make sure that Dakota fits into this, doesn't stand out as kind of a big, ugly gadget, so to speak, but it's really the sleek design that hugs the toilet bowl that's beautiful and white with the chrome features. More than that, though, the privacy part really is the big thing, where, as you say, it's a private space within the bathroom, making sure that only the people who want to use it are actually using it. We have family plans, so multiple people within the household can use the Dakota, but even then, each user has to kind of save their own fingerprints in the remote, so make sure that it's just them who are doing it and not, a significant other or another roommate or flatmate. Beyond that, we wanted to make sure that there sometimes is a sense of urgency when people use the bathroom. Everyone, as I said, also is busy. We didn't want to add, 7 other steps in order for you to see new data and for you to do this. I feel like if it's a hurdle for people to use this, the chances of people incorporating into this into their lifestyle are just very slim. So with the sensor waking up by itself, with very minimal transition time, with real-time results that the user will get after the session, these are all sort of the design principles, coupled with the scientific rigor and making sure that the insights that you're getting are actually meaningful, are valuable, and are right. That's kind of the thing that drove us the most.
No, that's great. I mean, I think that's such an important point that, with this product specifically, it's not so much about changing routines, but about meeting people in the routine they already have, especially when it comes to, you're going to the bathroom and you don't necessarily want to have to change up your routine, because that seems like something, you're pretty well versed in doing at this point. But I would really like to also hear a little bit more in terms of the design. I think one of the things that really stood out to me as we were talking about the design and, the development of the product is, really leaning on Kohler's 150-year-old legacy in the bathroom of understanding water levels and seat heights and toilet colors and all the different inner workings of a toilet, which people don't think about, but obviously needs to be thought about when you're designing and developing a product like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I personally have not been working on toilets for 150 years, but I now know a lot more about toilets than I did before we all started here. So toilets are a surprisingly complicated and complex environment. There are different water levels, there are different plumbing mechanisms, there are different vitreous materials, different colors of the bowl, different bowl shapes and rim shapes, and it's really kind of a whole universe in itself. And we had to design something that deals with all of that before you even bring in, the most complex of all into that, which is human behavior and health, right? But our device had to make sure that it clamps onto most of the rims on the toilet bowl, and that it's able to then analyze data and analyze the insights from a lot of these bowls. So while we weren't able to, and while it's not possible to design something that fits any and all toilet bowls, dark ones, for example, will not work because of the spectroscopy and the underlying science behind it, which requires a reflection and the interpretation of the interaction between light and matter. That really requires a white background and a lot of light to be able to work through this. We've really taken a lot of pains to make sure that it fits as many toilets, as many environments, as many bathrooms as possible to bring this to as many people as we can.
Yeah, no, it's quite a feat, because as I said, before, working with you guys on this, it was something even I didn't know all the complexities that go into designing one of the most common devices that we all use, or common tools that we all use every day. But so one of the questions you've navigated from day one beyond just the design is also privacy. You're working, as we've talked about, with incredibly sensitive data in a room where people very much expect discretion. How is Kohler thinking about building trust, protecting user privacy, and creating also a sense of transparency around how the technology works?
Absolutely. So privacy and that trust is foundational to us. From the beginning, it was one of our founding principles. It was one of the things that we really designed around, not an afterthought. We have built our own, tech infrastructures. We have put in place really state-of-the-art encryption technology around this. We are putting the user and the customer really in the driver's seat here. We have very transparent information within our app, on our website. People understand what we're doing with the data. We need to see the data, just like many other, health trackers and apps, in order to bring the insights back. It's not humans that see the data, it's interpreted by algorithms, and it is encrypted and kept safe so that really only those algorithms and those instances see it, and no outside actor. We've designed it that way. We are very transparent around what we do with the data. Otherwise, people can go into their preferences, can go into our privacy policy and on the website, and ensure that they're comfortable providing whatever data they want to.
Yeah, no, I think that's really an important point that you hit on in terms of privacy, and that you guys are really trying to have a product where customers basically can decide how much of their data they want to share and with who. And again, I think with a product like this, that's really important because as we've talked about, people really expect sort of privacy and discretion when you're talking about obviously toileting and bathroom habits and having something like this in your bathroom. But I want to talk a little bit more too. Well, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add on privacy.
No, I think we're good.
But in terms of Dakota and the insights it provides, obviously, is one of the big parts of this is it detects obviously hydration levels, your gut health and digestion, and obviously the detection of the blood in the toilet bowl, discreetly and without disruption. How does Dakota offer individuals these meaningful insights and the data to empower them to build healthier habits? I know it goes into, you guys have an app and it obviously takes in all the data, but what is that data? What is shared with the user and what types of insights does it provide to help them as they're thinking about their health goals, their wellness, and, is it giving them information that they, if they choose, could share with their doctor or physician?
Absolutely. So there are very different use cases for people to use Dakota. We've done extensive research. We talked to many people. Some really like the hydration aspect. They care about being fully hydrated. Think of athletes. Think of people who want to maximize their performance and who are really have a really keen interest to understand when their hydration might dip, when they need to, make sure that they drink water. We have water reminders to really take care of the hydration aspect. Then we have people who, for various reasons, might have questions around their digestive behaviors, people who might have some things they might be worried about or just curious about. And so we give graphs and timelines and trend lines to people who want to just track a little better, make note of it, see how things develop over time. We have kind of weekly, monthly, annual trend lines in the app where you can compare. Importantly, what we do is we allow users to compare themselves to their own personal trend lines and their baselines. This is very individual. This is very personal. No two people have the same kind of digestion behaviors, and what might be true for me might not be true for you, Erin, because we just all are individuals and complicated beings, right? So me comparing myself to you is nowhere near as meaningful as, me comparing myself to November when there were fewer holiday parties or whatever it might be there, and just understanding how our body reacts to certain things, and also just how you feel about it, right? So data is one part, but what we have, calendar functions and tagging functions that allow us to say, what may have happened, whether it's exercise or alcohol or different foods that you've ingested, and really for you to be able to draw that inference between what has happened in your life and what then happened in your body and how that made you feel. You're really putting. We always say kind of we're in the business of giving information back to the user. It's your body, it's what's happening within you, but you might not be aware of it. And we're giving it back to you and helping you understand it. Same with the blood and bowl. There are various different reasons why blood might appear in the toilet bowl. For people who menstruate, this is a common pattern. For others, it might be something that they want to look into. But we are kind of giving you the data, giving calendar views, and giving people the ability also to save a PDF version of this, for example, and take to their physician or to the medical professional of their choice, in order to give things a voice and provide data around something that may have otherwise just been a feeling, or something that they're not quite comfortable or quite understanding how to put into words.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's what's so fascinating is sort of seeing those trends over time. And yeah. I know I'm not the only one who has, discovered in terms of using this product who thinks like, oh, I drink so much water. I think I'm pretty hydrated, and realizing that I'm actually not the most hydrated when I think I am. And I think one of the interesting takeaways has been too, on the weekends when I'm home and I'm running around or doing a bunch of different activities with my children, thinking I'm getting a lot of water, and it's actually the weekends where I'm the least hydrated versus during the week. So I really find those insights over time to help you think about how you're getting more water or thinking more about the food choices you make to help digestion as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So You've spoken a little bit about the challenge and a lot too about the opportunity of defining a new category in health tech. Um, what have you learned about sort of framing a product that doesn't necessarily fit neatly into a label like a wellness tool or a smart home technology device? I know a big part of this isn't so much trying to fit into a category, but really what you guys are doing and have done quite successfully is sort of introduce this whole new category. And so
Yeah.
how are you guys helping people understand sort of what this is and really what this isn't?
Yeah, I think the biggest part really is around education and awareness, just introducing it. As you said, no one, in September probably woke up and said, I really want to monitor what goes into my toilet and want to understand my waste better. But really bringing this to people to help them understand why this is relevant and why this could be useful to them. So the onus is on explaining the data, explaining the significance, bringing it back to, things that they might experiencing in their lives. As you said before, on the weekends when you're running after kids, why are you so tired in the evening? Probably also because you've been running after kids, but hydration can play a role in there too, right? Like, why do people get headaches? Why do, some athletes perform less well on some days than on other days? And hydration and digestion is really at the core. There's so much already in the media and so much awareness around how important it is what you put into your body, right? Like the debate around ultra processed foods, the debate about, just really nourishing yourself. And this is kind of the other side of it, really understanding how your body deals with the input, helps you digest it, brings you the energy out of that, and how it helps you feel your best around this.
That's great. Yeah, no, for sure. So Kohler Health, I know, you're building something bigger than just a single product. Dakota is your inaugural product. But as the head of business, you're shaping what comes next and thinking about, I'm sure, constantly what comes next. So what does that broader pipeline look like? And where do you see the biggest growth opportunities in this space, specifically in the next sort of 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said before, we really see this as a promise of establishing ourselves as a player who really wants to help people here in the long run. We are always in touch with customers. We are always in touch with our users to understand what they might be interested in, what else, what insights are missing. This, as you said, is the first of its kind product. It really is kind of the beginning of our journey here to see what other, potential sensors, what other potential insights, what other potential, like health areas might be interesting. We have our own R&D team who is looking at very exciting and new use cases for a lot of these areas. We really want to go deep in the bathroom before we extend anywhere else, but there is a lot of opportunity there and a lot of insights to be gained that we believe will just help round out that picture for people. And we're very excited.
No, for sure. I mean, as you said, I don't think until six weeks ago, a lot of people were thinking about how am I turning my bathroom into a personal sort of health and wellness hub.
Yeah.
I know there's been discussions around, smart tech and things we could be doing, to make our homes more efficient or how we can make them more of a wellness hub. But I think one of the unique pieces of this is sort of how you guys are, again, thinking about the bathroom as this health and wellness hub, and really then shaping the home as sort of this place for health and wellness for users. Well, one final question, because I know we are coming up on time. Something that we ask all of our guests on these LinkedIn Live discussions. So at SKDK, we love moments that sort of redefine how we think and how we work. I guess as you think back through the last several, couple years in the development of, the Dakota and Kohler Health, what's one decision or story or experience that fundamentally changed how you think about communicating new ideas and bringing people along with this innovation?
Yeah, I think in user research, there have been so many moments where, you might think of the toilet or the bathroom as one way and think you kind of have it figured out. And then you speak to people and understand what it is that they want from something. So one of the things that I said before around, the remote versus the app and initiating a session there. We really need to understand what the pain point is and what people want to do with this also, and communicate kind of the ease and the ability to just make change for themselves. I think we're all very busy. We, as you said, have kids that are running around on the weekends. We have colleagues and bosses and all of those things. And we wanted to make sure that this is something that's unobtrusive, that's easy, and to communicate this, whether it's through a remote, whether it's through NFC, which is, you know, the way in which you can also tag to initiate a session, or through your app, just communicating the ease and really meeting people where they are.
No, that's great. I mean, I think we can all agree that in this busy time, and for a lot of people busy season of life, something that is seamless and integrates into our daily routines without a lot of work or tracking is obviously the best and easiest for us to use. But I thank you so much, Nora, for joining me today and sharing such valuable insights about Kohler Health and the launch of Dakota. I know this is a really exciting time, and we're really excited to see sort of what comes next as well. But obviously, it's also the season of giving. And for those people that are interested in purchasing the device or learning more about Kohler Health, where can they go?
Yeah, please go to kohlerhealth.com. You'll see a lot more information, better presented than what I've tried to explain to you. You'll see the app interfaces, you'll see our graphs, you'll see trend lines, you'll see the device kind of in situ in the bathrooms. And yeah, we've given a lot of thought and information to the website, so please go and check it out.
Great. Well, that's kohlerhealth.com for those who want to go and check it out. Thank you. Well, thank you again, Nora, and thank you all for tuning in to today's discussion. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to you joining us for the next one. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Erin.
Thanks.